I've got a question for you. So are you in Christianity like that, or you?
Yeah, I'm Christian.
Okay, cool. I've got a question. You got the flyer in your hand, right?
Yeah.
So do you know about the history of slavery, right? You know about that, right? Did you know it's in the Bible though? You did. What up, so? Do you know where it's at? 'Cause you said
Yes.
you know. So what book and chapter we go to understand history of slavery in the Bible?
It's Genesis and Exodus.
That is true. There's been many slaveries in there, but there's one that's documented about the slavery that happened to our forefathers that happened here. Where do you think we find that? Give me that. We're going to start off in Deuteronomy 101. This is something that the Christian church will never teach you. Understand that, my sister, yeah? Read that.
This be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Nah, the entire world.
All Israel.
Nah, the white man.
All Israel.
Right, this right here is Moses, right? After the Exodus of what happened, you know, the 10 plagues, that God took all of Israel out of Egypt. So now he's gone into the land and telling people what? Read it again.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
In the wilderness, he's speaking to the Israelites, right? We're going to determine who the Israelites are. Give me that Deuteronomy 28:1. Very quickly, because again, this is something that you've never heard before in your life. We're going to bring out today, yeah? For your edification. Read it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass,
right,
if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
right,
to observe and to do all his commandments.
All his what?
All his commandments.
Nah, religions.
All his commandments.
The Lord deals with commandments. You understand that?
Louder, yeah?
He deals with commandments, right? Read on.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
Nah, below.
Above all nations.
Nah, we're the same people.
Above all nations.
Listen, do you believe you're above all people, sis? Do you believe that? Or do you believe they're all one at the same point? You're not really. The Lord's telling you you're going to be above all people if you do what? Yeah. Keep his commandments, right?
Yes.
But are we on top? Do you see a lot of black people? Are we on top of society right now? No, we're in the ghettos. Do you understand? We're there. We're not at the top. So, again, it can't be talking about the white people because they're at the top. They're at the skyscraper. They own all the countries. You understand that, sis, yeah? Read on.
Above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee.
Right, so all these blessings will be on us if we keep the commandments. Now, verse 15. Because again, it's going to show you that, cool, from verse 1 to 14 is all the blessings. But, read on.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Meaning if you don't listen to the laws of God, his commandments, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Right.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Are curses a good thing or a bad thing, sis? They're terrible. Curses are terrible things. But we're going to go into some curses and we're going to see if it lines with what happened to us. Right? Okay. Verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. And
read that again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall...
Our sons and our daughters will be what?
Shall be given unto another people.
Where did that happen? When did that happen? Right. You've seen it in what, like 12 years a slave? You've seen how children are getting taken away from their parents. On what?
And thine eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long.
You're going to be looking at them and feeling because you want to save your children, but you can't. Our forefathers couldn't do that. Right, we don't?
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
There was no might in their hands to take them away from that. Even us here today, we don't have no political power. We don't have no economic power. We're at the bottom of society. Every country that's our people, we're at the bottom. Do you understand? Verse 45 now.
Verse 45. Moreover.
In fact, get me bywords. Well, verse 37?
Yes.
Read that.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
We're an astonishment. Do you understand that? We're an astonishment. You see it with these music artists. All they do is shake their nyash and do whatever. We're an astonishment to them. They look at us and like, damn, look at these Negroes go. Look at these Hispanics go. Look at these guys. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be like that. We're supposed to be above everyone. Do you understand? We're royalty. We don't?
A proverb.
And a proverb. Like, I hate Mondays. That means I hate black people. If you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. We don't read. That's what? Read that again.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb,
Well, that's a proverb, right? Read on.
and a byword.
And a byword. Sis, where you from originally? Angola. Where did the word Angola come from? Do you find it in the Bible? Is Angola a nation in there? No. We were called what? The children of Israel.
That's right.
That's our name. But that's a byword that they put on us.
That's right.
You understand? They put on this Congo, even Africa, Stefio Africanus. Africanus, that's his name. That's a white man's name. Do you understand? Read on.
Among all nations.
Among all these nations, they put that on us, right? Verse 45.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee.
Right, these curses are going to be on us, and they're going to pursue us. If you want to go back to Portugal, you're going to get the same treatment there you're going to get here. You understand? The curses are still going to be there. You understand? They're going to overtake us. Read on.
Till thou be destroyed.
Until we be destroyed, what? Mentally. You understand verse 46 now?
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder.
Right, the Lord is saying the same thing again. It's for being on a sign. So what does the sign do? How about that? What does the sign do? Let's say if I want to go, I don't know, I want to go to 3. How do I know I go to 3?
Just follow the sign.
You got the sign right there. It tells you. A sign shows you what something is or where it is. Alright? So these curses that we're going through is going to identify who the Israelites are.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today.
Right, read on.
And upon thy seed forever.
Nah, it's not forever. It's only for a moment.
And upon thy seed forever.
So back here in Deuteronomy till now. Do you understand? Till now, sis. Yeah? That's how long it's going to be on us for. Even to the next generation until Christ comes back. These curses are still going to be here. Right? Read on.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
That's because we didn't do that. We didn't keep the commandments of the Lord. Do you understand? That's why we're in the situation we are now. Read on.
For the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
What? Whoa, we're not going to serve our enemies. They're our friends.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Nah, Tom's my friend. He's my friend. Obviously, the Lord knows he's my friend. Read on.
Thine enemies, which
they are our enemies. They are our enemies, sis. Do you understand? The enemies of who? He's going to tell you who it is. Read on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Will send against us. They came from the Lord. Do you understand? The Lord put this on us. They put this on us. Because why? We didn't keep his laws. Do you understand that, sis? Read on.
In hunger.
In what?
Thirst.
Hold on, read that again.
In hunger.
In hunger. So if you want to get food, who do you go to? You go to the shop. Who owns it? Is it our people that owns the shop? No. It's the enemies that own it. Who's the enemy?
That's right.
Read on.
In hunger. In thirst.
In thirst. 7 Trent Waters. Do we own that? No. Do we own the bottle companies? No. We don't own that. The water comes from the sky free. Free. But we have to pay who? Our enemies for that. Do you understand? Read on.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. The clothing on your back. Where does it come from? It don't say made in Tunisia. It don't say made in Congo, in Jamaica, in Angola. It don't say that. It says made in China, made in all these different countries that aren't our people. Do you understand? Even down to the clothing you wear. And then what?
And in want of all things.
If you want childcare, you want your passport, driver's license, even just to know God, you have to go to your enemies for that. Right? Until what? Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
What's a yoke of iron, sis? What do you think that is?
The what?
A yoke of iron. What do you think that is? You don't know what it is? I'll show you what it is. Read it again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
He'll put a yoke of iron on your neck. That's what happened to our ancestors. Until what?
Until he have destroyed.
Until you say, I'm Angolan. Until you say, I'm British. Until you say, I'm not Israelite no more.
That's right.
Like what happened to our brother. What's his name again? In Roots. Kunta Kinte. They said, nah, your name Toby. And he had to get whipped for that. That's what happened to our ancestors. Do you understand? It's in the Bible. Now give me that verse 64. This one's for you specifically, yeah? This one's for you specifically.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Right, because during slavery, during the slave trade, we were taken from the coast, we know that already, in Angola. It happened there, it happened in Ghana too. All our people got scattered throughout the entire world. Right? Read on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
Ooh, and there in those lands, in Portugal, in Spain, in England, in the US, in China, we're going to learn different gods. And the Bible's going to tell us which gods there is. Right, read on.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Listen, we didn't know that. Our forefathers didn't know these gods. And who were they? Read it.
Even wood.
Wood. What do you think that wood represents? What do you think the wood is? Trees. It's a religion. What religion has a synonymous with a wood? I'll give you the answer. You see the cross, the Christian cross, talking about Catholicism, Christian church, what it's talking about. Yeah, that's the wood. Read on.
And stone.
And the stone. The stone is the Kaaba stone, right, of Islam. I've got one more scripture for you, sis, then you can head off your way, yeah? Verse 68. Because this is going to culminate everything of what happened to our people, yeah? Read on.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
Nah, it can't be with ships.
With ships.
With ships. You know what Egypt means, sis? For time's sake, Egypt is what happened to us back in the time, you talked about it already, during Exodus. Like, that was slavery, synonymous with slavery, that's the word it means. Right, but this time, we're going to go into slavery with ships. When did that happen? It happened on ships where? To us. That's what it's talking about, you know what I'm saying? Read it again.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. We're going to be put on slave ships, cargo ships. It's written in the Bible. It happened to us through history. You understand? Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more.
That's talking about our homeland. We're never going to see Jerusalem again. Right? Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold.
We were sold at that place, in the land that we were. As for what?
Unto your enemies.
Unto who?
Your enemies.
Unto our enemies. They were our enemies, sis. Do you understand? The Lord called them that. Read on.
For bondmen.
For bondmen. Slave men.
And bondwomen.
And bondwomen. They said, hey, £2 for that nigga there, £3 for that, £20 sold. That's what happened to us there. And it's documented here in the Bible. Read on.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man can redeem you from that state. Do you understand? You understand that, sis? Yeah? So we just went through our history that we went through in the past. It's written here. And it shows us who? The Israelites are those that are synonymous with these curses. Yeah? And that is us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans here today. Understand that, sis?
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is